Amidst a snowy, desolate battlefield, a lone warrior struggles to catch their breath. Surrounded by the aftermath of a brutal clash, their thoughts echo a powerful truth. If those with power do nothing against evil, they are no different than the villain themselves. A bloodied sword stands planted in the snow, marking the scene of victory or survival. As the warrior questions if the battle is truly over, a shadowy figure emerges on the horizon, radiating an ominous presence. Their gaze locks, tension filling the icy air, hinting at a new, inevitable confrontation. On a quiet, snow-covered battlefield, a regal figure in a flowing red cloak stands atop a hill, exuding an aura of power and authority. The lone survivor gazes up, captivated by their beauty but aware of the threat they pose. "I don't wish to fight you," the figure declares, their voice calm but firm. "I don't wish to kill you," they add, a warning cloaked in mercy. In a peaceful, scenic landscape, a young boy lies asleep on the ground. The tranquil moment is broken as a massive bear approaches him. The beast growls, its sharp teeth bared, as tension fills the air. Just as fear seems inevitable, the bear gently pulls him close. The bear nudges and licks Bira, waking him gently. Still groggy, Bira realizes the bear has a request. It's asking for food, not for itself, but for its cub. The bear's expressive gestures make it clear it wants fish for breakfast. Bira, familiar with this routine, is annoyed and prepares to help his unusual yet endearing companion and her cub. Bira decides to catch fish for the bear and her cub. As he gazes across the valley, he notices a thin trail of smoke rising in the distance. For a brief moment, he pauses in curiosity flickering in his eyes, but he quickly brushes it off, shrugging as if it's nothing to worry about. Turning in the opposite direction, full of energy and determination, Bira sets off to catch fish. With agile movements, he begins his descent down the rocky cliffs. As a flock of birds takes flight, and he reaches a sparkling river, ready for his hunt. Meanwhile, a shadowy figure moves stealthily through the woods, their intense focus suggesting danger. Bira, choosing his own path, remains unaware of the potential danger. A rider on a powerful ram charges through the forest, desperate to escape his eerie. Jars with piercing yellow eyes pursue him. The creatures taunt the rider with mocking laughter and sneers. "Running away only excites me," while declaring, "Shall I test the ability of the bastard who pointed their weapon at the sect leader?" From the jar, a deadly golden blade materializes, signaling the start of a deadly confrontation. The golden blade streaks toward the rider, clashing violently with his spear. Sparks fly as the force of the impact reverberates through the forest. The rider, gripping their blade tightly, fights to maintain balance atop their charging ram. Relentless jars close in, their sinister laughter echoing as they launch more attacks. The rider skillfully cuts one of the jars in half. The sliced jar releases a grotesque mass of writhing tendrils, morphs to snakes, shrieking as it lunges forward. The rider reacts through the appendages while narrowly being ensnared. Despite their skillful defense, the snake swarms him, forcing the rider into a fierce struggle. The orb laughs cruelly, taunting, "You should have picked the right jar." Rider skillfully slices through the attacking snakes. However, one grazes him, injecting a venom that spreads through his body. Gasping in pain, but refuses to falter. As their ram charges forward, the jar mocks and taunts, closing in relentlessly. Bira in the river, annoyed by the bear's picky taste. "I'm only doing this because of those cubs," he mutters, catching fish with determination. After a flurry of effort, he manages to pile a mountain of fish on the riverbank. Pleased but exhausted, he sighs. "Now, how am I supposed to take all these back home?" As he contemplates his next move, a sudden sound startles him. Turning toward the noise, his curiosity and unease grow. The rider charges through the river. As the orbs swarm and attack, the rider deflects them with their blade, but their sheer power overwhelms and throws him into a shallow river. Struggling to recover, the rider grips their sword, prepares for another round as the jars hover ominously, ready to strike. The peaceful mountains in the distance sharply contrast with the chaos of the battle unfolding in the river. The poisoned rider struggles as the mocking jar surrounds him, daring him to guess where he is hiding. Suddenly, Bire appears, casually hugging one of the moving jars. "Can I have this jar?" he asks, peeking inside. The entity inside the jar freezes in shock. Who is this kid? It exclaims. Seizing the chance, noticing where his enemy hiding, the rider musters his strength, picking up his spear and strikes, shouting to Bira to get away from the jar. The poisoned rider musters their strength and shatters the jar with a powerful strike. Bira, stunned, watches as the entity escapes, revealing its grotesque true form. "I'll make your death slow and painful," it growls, its glowing orange eyes burning with malice. The creature's gaze intensifies, hypnotizing both Bira and the rider. Bira's expression turns vacant, while the rider struggles against the overwhelming power. The entity's sinister laughter fills the air as it looms closer, ready to unleash its vengeance. The grotesque entity looms over Bira and the rider, its tendrils writhing as a crimson aura distorts the air. Struggle within a horrendous hallucination. It sneers, its glowing orange eyes radiating malice. The nightmare intensifies as its power engulfs the scene. Bira, frozen in place, succumbs to the creature's influence, his eyes glowing the same fiery orange, his expression vacant, foreshadowing a grim fate. In the past, under the moonlit sky, a kid drinks from a red flask, savoring the moment. That hit the spot. While the other kid glares suspiciously. "You didn't drink it all, did you?" he asks, frustrated when he realizes the flask is empty, and jokingly offers him the empty bottle. Their playful banter fills the quiet night. Back to the present, the grotesque entity mocks the rider, promising a painful death once they awaken from the hallucination. However, Bira interrupts, boldly stepping forward and demanding, "Wait, can I say something?" Ignoring the tension, Bira scolds the rider for breaking someone else's jar and orders the rider to apologize. The creature, baffled by Bira's audacity, falters, while the rider is left speechless. With a cheerful grin, Bira ends the bizarre exchange by asking, "Now then, I borrow a jar, right?" Leaving everyone stunned. Waking up from hallucination, the rider warns Bira to flee, but the grotesque entity lunges, snarling, "I'll make you regret waking up." The rider counters with a powerful strike, severing the creature's leg. Bira, horrified, exclaims, "His leg!" But the entity recovers quickly, roaring with fury. As the rider battles, the poison weakens him. "The poison again," he mutters, struggling to stand. Bira hesitates, torn between fleeing and staying. The creature sneers, "Squirm all you want. Your death will be more satisfying." The rider's resolve clashes with their exhaustion as the monster pulls a flute, setting the stage for an intense final clash. The enraged entity blows his flute, unleashes massive tendrils from bursting jars, surrounding Bira in chaos. As the tendrils close in, the rider swoops in and grabs Bira, pulling him to safety. "Don't worry, kid, I'll never let you die," the rider assures, though Bira protests, "It's fine to leave me," while the monstrous entity, filled with fury, regenerates his dismembered feet and prepares another attack. The enraged entity unleashes massive snake-like tendrils, forcing the rider to fight while battling the effects of poison. Holding Bira tightly, suspecting Bira to be poisoned, the rider slashes through the chaos, vowing, "Even if I die, I'll save you." Bira, startled but pragmatic, decides to pretend he's fainted, looking for a chance to run off. As the snake-like tendrils close in, the rider struggles to maintain strength as the poison spreads, dragging Bira through the chaos. They're swept into a torrent of water, plunging beneath its icy surface. Gasping, the rider emerges with Bira in as he regains consciousness, both exhausted but alive. The monstrous entity attacks with a furious scream, "Die!" But the rider narrowly dodges, shielding Bira as a mysterious force smashed to smithereens the entity's blade, and the ground shatters beneath the impact. Throwing the entity back, chaos erupts, with water and debris flying everywhere. The rider, clutching Bira, asks, "Hey, kid, you okay?" As Bira is still pretending. Meanwhile, the enraged entity seethes, growling, "What the hell was that?" Unable to land a hit, it roars in frustration. Realizing the danger, the rider grabs Bira and flees, leaving the furious creature behind. The grotesque figure seethes with rage, recalling the sect leader's decision to let the prisoner go. "Why didn't you just kill him?" it screams internally, haunted by the sect leader's calm yet piercing expression. Overwhelmed by frustration, it curses the sect leader's expression. It tears my heart out. Kulan, consumed by rage, vows never to see the sect leader's disappointed expression again. Unleashing a storm of snake-like tendrils, he declares, I am Kulan of the Northern Sky Demon sect. In place of the sect leader, I will punish you. With relentless fury, Kulan's snake-like tendrils tear through the landscape as he snarls, you will never escape from me. The chapter ends with Kulan's maniacal grin, his threats echoing ominously. The poisoned man struggles to protect Bira while escaping the deadly tendrils chasing them through the raging river. Despite his weakening state, he vows to keep Bira safe at all costs. Kulan mocks their futile attempts, controlling the relentless attacks. Summoning his remaining strength, the man prepares to confront Kulan head-on, determined to shield Bira from harm. Tanyu, revealing his name, faces a wave of snakes, urging Bira to run without looking back. Despite guilt, Bira flees while Tanyu valiantly holds the line. Exhausted, Tanyu collapses, clutching a locket tied to a regretful memory, hinting at a tragic past. Meanwhile, Bira struggles with guilt and confusion over the chaos. Tanyu, weakened and filled with regret, grips his weapon, determined to fight despite the odds. Kulan appears, mocking him and dragging out the battle for his amusement. Tanyu demands an end, but Kulan cruelly declares it's his choice how to kill him, savoring the torment. The scene unfolds with a flashback to Tanyu's attack on the sect leader, an act that left a lasting impression on Kulan, who saw it as a direct affront to the sect leader's authority and dignity. Despite capturing Tanyu, the sect leader, to Kulan's shock, chose to release him as a prisoner, a decision Kulan witnessed with rising fury. Kulan, unable to comprehend, accused Tanyu of stealing the sect leader's accessory. His accusations were fueled by a mixture of loyalty and resentment. As Tanyu departed, the sect leader's sorrowful and worried expression tore at Kulan's heart. Seeing the sect leader saddened by Tanyu's departure further fueled Kulan's rage, as he couldn't bear the thought of anyone causing such distress to the leader he revered. Tanyu, overwhelmed by Kulan's relentless attack, is forced into a desperate struggle. Kulan mocks Tanyu, claiming that he stole the sect leader's accessory and labeling him unworthy. Tanyu, gravely injured, collapses from exhaustion and pain. Bira, standing nearby, intervenes, attempting to defuse the tension. Kulan, shocked by Bira's interference, demands the boy leave, but Bira boldly questions Kulan's cruelty. Unexpectedly, Bira's aura shifts, his eyes glowing with mysterious energy reminiscent of great power. Kulan is taken aback, sensing a threatening and familiar force emanating from the child. The air grows tense as Bira warns Kulan to step back, hinting at the gravity of ignoring his warning. Bira unleashes a powerful energy that shakes the ground and forces Kulan into a panicked retreat. Overwhelmed by the force, Kulan is pushed back. Kulan, momentarily disoriented, closes his eyes to shield himself from the chaos. When he opens them, he finds that both Tanyu and Bira have disappeared without a trace. Confused and frustrated, Kulan looks around, standing alone in the vast mountain landscape, unsure of where his adversaries have gone. The scene shifts to a serene hot springs town, centered around a majestic red pagoda. Inside, a composed figure sits, immersed in thought, as a leaf drifts in through the breeze, drawing their attention. The calm moment is disrupted by a cold, familiar wind that carries a sense of foreboding. The figure remarks on the disturbance, sensing the arrival of someone significant. Looking out, they anticipate change as the town bustles below, illuminated by warm lanterns. This hot springs town may soon receive an honorable guest, setting the stage for an important encounter. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe, and ring the bell for the next arc. And for more manhwa and manga content, got a favorite? Drop it in the comments. See you next time.